There were many very cool debuts at this year's New York International Auto Show. Surprisingly funky stuff like the all-new Toyota Corolla-just-don't-call-it-iM hatchback. Expected but still notable stuff like the GMC Sierra pickup. Concept-wise stuff like the Genesis Essentia and manic stuff like the Porsche GT3 RS Weissach package. It was all well and good, but one of the most notable cars to hit the stand, in this writer's humble opinion, wasn't a sports car, or a concept whose name sounds a little like a variety of Japanese green tea. It was, like said opinion, an all-new take on the humblest of body types, the midsize sedan. Which, for all its humbleness, has had to withstand more than its fair share of attacks on the sales front. On one end of the spectrum, you've got compact hatches that are smaller but getting more practical every day. On the other, CUVs and SUVs that are larger but getting more and more efficient every day. It's a tough nut to crack, but Nissan feels the time is now for the Altima, which will be available with AWD and Nissan's latest engine, the variable compression, turbocharged 4-cylinder first seen in the recently revealed Infiniti QX50, and they make a pretty good case. Dennis Levolt, recently appointed VP of Nissan North America, said, "Our research shows that Generation Y and Z drivers are showing a strong appetite for sedans. And there's an opportunity to think outside the traditional sedan box." That's well put, and perhaps a little tongue-in-cheek because according to Nissan North America VP of Product Planning Mike Bunce, the Altima sedan silhouette is exactly what's attracting these General Y and Zers. Bunce says, "These centennials and millennials can't tell you what a sedan is. They don't know what a crossover is, they don't know what a wagon is. But when you show them silhouettes of body styles, number one, and by a far stretch in terms of intention, what they'd buy, if they had money, the intention is sedan." According to Bunce, it's almost as if the crossovers and SUVs have been too popular for their own good throughout the lives of these groups of people, and it's time for a change. He says, "We ask, why? It's I grew up in that crossover, I was strapped in as a kid there. That as a family hauler, that's not my stage in life, that's not me." Of course, all that's great, but it's smoke and mirrors if you don't have the tech and engineering to back it all up. In the case of said buying groups, tech is especially important, which is why both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come as standard on all Altimas, while Nissan's all-new ProPilot Assist tech will also be available. Those first two items should be pretty recognizable to most by now, the third, ProPilot Assist, PPA, a little less so. Essentially, what ProPilot Assist is the next step towards full autonomy. Activated by pressing a button on the steering wheel, PPA employs rear auto emergency braking, lane hold assist and an advanced adaptive cruise that can take you all the way down to zero in stop-and-go traffic. The lane hold system, meanwhile, doesn't just keep you in your lane, but keeps you centered in your lane too, thanks to its following what Bunce calls a virtual center line. It produces hair-raising events that have you coming too close to the lane marker to the point of almost going over it. Also under the autonomy umbrella is Safety Shield 360, which includes high beam assist, pedestrian detection, BLIS, rear cross traffic alert with auto emergency braking and lane departure warning. It's standard on SP trim and up, which means everything but base S trim gets it. What will be available on all levels is AWD. According to Bunce, it can't come soon enough. He says, "I've been fighting to get AWD in sedans in the US for 8 years, now one knows it will be a defining factor for the Altima." Similar to the Rogue system, it's an always-on system, which means it can go up to a 50/50 front-rear split if it's needed, and can fully decouple the rear wheels while cruising. That means AWD grip when leaving the line, and more efficiency when cruising or sitting in traffic. That's fine by us, and the fact that you can get AWD on all trims is a bold step, as only one other manufacturer in North America, Subaru, with the Legacy, does this after Ford pulled the plug on the AWD Fusion. Guns is quick to point out, though, that even that car was AWD only at top trim, which effectively removes it out of the Altima's competition bracket. Two engines will be available at launch: a redesigned, naturally aspirated 2.5L four-cylinder good for 188 horsepower and 180 pounds-ft of torque. Both are figures in last year's model, that is lower overall, making for more aerodynamic performance, and the Altima's crown jewel, a variable compression turbo four good for 248 horsepower and 273 pounds-ft of torque. That's less HP than the now discontinued V6, but more torque. That, of course, is only part of the story. Gunn says, the VC turbo engine is phenomenal because it gives you the affordability factor of fuel economy with the power of a V6. By automatically adjusting the engine stroke on the fly, Nissan claims you're getting the best of both worlds with this engine. Time will tell how much that rings true, but it's a nice start. A nice start is right. If you'll remember, there was an Altima hybrid not too long ago, but it was short-lived, and the alternative energy reins have since been taken up at Nissan by the Leaf in North America. It appears that the idea of a hybrid may not be entirely dead, however. Nissan is already testing a new form of hybrid powertrain called e-Power, and have sold it to the Japanese public in the form of the Serena e-Power van and Note e-Power hatch, and according to Bunce, there's some real potential for North America there. Just not in the way you may think. Gunn says, imagine driving a Maxima that drives off the line like a P100 Tesla. Sedans have an inherent advantage over SUV-CV in terms of a lower center of gravity, better ride, and better aero, but Nissan has gone the extra mile with the 2019 Altima by adding a steering rack-mounted electronic power steering. The car's even lower than before, and it's also wider, longer, and has a longer wheelbase, which has a few benefits. Gunn says, every time you push the wheelbase farther out of the cabin, you improve dynamics. So not only is there more room inside, but it handles better too. It's all coming up roses, isn't it? But is Nissan right? Is now the time for the midsize sedan to shine in North America? We'll know soon enough.
Year after year, the Subaru Forester has ranked among CR's top-rated small SUVs and almost aces our surveys for reliability and owner satisfaction. But the rapid pace of competition means even segment leaders can't rest on their laurels. Hence, the company used the 2018 New York Auto Show to unveil its latest Forester model. Now that Subaru has added a new three-row SUV, the Ascent, the Forester ranks squarely in the middle of the automaker's lineup. It's larger than the Impreza sedan and about the same size as the Outback wagon. The new Forester will be offered in standard, premium, limited, touring, and new sport trim lines. All-wheel drive is standard. With a longer wheelbase, the company says the new Forester is roomier inside, most noticeably in rear seat legroom. Also, Subaru says headroom, hip room, and shoulder room have been increased. Anyone even faintly knowledgeable about Subarus will instantly recognize the new model. Its boxy, upright stance, which helps it offer some of the easiest access to the front seats of any car, and airy cabin make it seem like the least intimidating SUV available. New LED headlights are standard on all models. The company says the 2019 Forester gets more cargo space with a larger gate opening and that the load floor sits flatter. According to Subaru, golfers can look forward to fitting a full-sized golf bag sideways in the back of the new model. A power rear gate is standard on limited and touring trim lines and optional for premium and sport versions. Keeping with its outdoorsy image, the sport model features a rear gate LED floodlight that illuminates the area around the rear gate when opened. Subaru says the new Forester is the quietest yet, with greater efforts made to reduce noise, vibration, and harshness. A past complaint we've had with Foresters is intrusive engine noise during passing maneuvers, so we'll be eager to see whether this has improved. New for the infotainment system are standard Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. All models come with a new version of Subaru's ubiquitous 2.5-liter, 4-cylinder engine. Updates have boosted horsepower from 170 to 182. A continuously variable transmission is standard. The company claims that the 2019 model will be quicker than the outgoing one and return better fuel economy. Our last tested Forester returned an excellent 26 mpg overall. The Sport, Limited, and Touring models will come with a driver-adjustable all-wheel drive system that offers specific settings for piloting through snow, dirt, deep snow, and mud. 2019 Albanian Lex models come standard with Subaru's Eyesight driver assist technology, which includes automatic pre-collision braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and lane keeping assist. The top-shelf Touring model also gets the company's driver focus system, which uses facial recognition software to recognize signs of driver fatigue or driver distraction. The driver focus feature can also store up to 5 drivers' preferences for seat position, climate, and infotainment, among others. Other available features include reverse automatic braking, blind spot detection with lane change assist, and rear cross-traffic alert. Reverse automatic braking can apply the vehicle's brakes if an obstacle is detected while reversing. The Forester has been rocking CR's testing for years, consistently hitting the sweet spot among small SUVs, delivering a roomy interior, impressive safety equipment and crashworthiness, and outstanding visibility in a right-sized, affordable package. Considering that all models come standard with all-wheel drive, fuel economy has been excellent. Adding a touch more room to the interior, lots of standard safety gear, and some emphasis on reducing cabin noise, the next Forester looks poised to carry on Subaru's winning formula.